Now, let me tell you about Amy while she gets set up. Amy is a Livonia public school teacher. She is an English language program leader.
Mhm.
She is a strong association advocate and participant. She is an important part of the Livonia Education Association Wellness Initiative. She's here sharing with us. And she is at a conference right now. She's been back and forth. She's at a conference.
Mhm.
And
Here I am. Here's my badge.
yeah,
Sorry.
she's sacrificing her time to come share with us. And I appreciate her so much. Thank you, Amy. You have the platform.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I wish I could have attended more of the sessions today. And Rhonda just gave me an introduction. If anyone would be so willing to put in the chat a little bit, like, who are you, right? Are we teachers? Are you MESSA? Are you just, people who have MESSA insurance and are here to learn? Like, I'd love to know, like, who's in our virtual room. I'd love to see that. I know that, like I said, Rhonda said a little bit about me. I am in Livonia Public Schools and yep, multitasking teacher, finance department. Oh, this is great. I love that. I kept thinking, I wish our health teachers were here for this conference, right? Our health and physical education teachers. That would be amazing. Lovely. Okay, thank you so much. Department Chair, Elementary School. Wonderful to meet you. Oh, an SLP, right? Exactly. So we had this idea. We've been trying to improve some activities. Sorry, I'm just trying to get there we go, introduction of this presentation. And that's what I was about to say. I'm part of the board of the directors for the Livonia Education Association. That's basically our teachers union, right? And we're a big district. If you don't know where Livonia is, we are in southeastern Michigan, Wayne County. We have three high schools, three middle schools. I mean, lots of elementary schools that feed those schools. So we are a big district and a big teachers organization. So in collaboration with our LEA membership services director, Heidi Posh, she's an art teacher at Stevenson High School in Livonia. I used to teach at Stevenson High School in Livonia. So we knew each other. We're like, hey, oh, you're working on that. I'm working on this. Let's just work on it together. We really wanted some health related initiatives and motivators for our 25-26 school year. And our big ideas, and I do want to say this was, excuse me, like thank you to Rhonda because we got some of these ideas from her and Andrew, which I'm going to also give them shout outs throughout this presentation. But number one, we wanted to motivate our membership and support one another for wellness. Excuse me, sorry, build community. And then awareness, helping our members learn not only about wellness topics like Kristen's. I was like, oh my gosh, that was great. But also about the MESSA offerings. So just like when Rhonda just now with Kristen's presentation said, okay, well, let me tell you about what MESSA covers related to that topic. So that was important to us too, because I mean, we know that there's so many offerings that many of us didn't know about, right? We could be saving money for sure, just getting the most out of all of that Mesa has for us. And then of course we wanted to just build community, right? Provide activities to build community among members. I said we're a large school district, but we're trying to, feel like family. So that's always nice. Our communication. So, how did we get the word out and what did we do? We have an LEA newsletter, and that goes out monthly. So, the LEA again is Livonia Education Association. We have a Facebook group. We had Google Forms, so we had emails out to members, just regular flyers that people could print out. I was so excited when I was at one of the middle schools and the flyers, and I have some samples of our flyers. They were sitting out on like in the teachers' lounge, like on the lunch tables. Like I'm like, okay, cool for people to see. So that was great. But so there's different ways that we communicated our ideas and our offerings and what we were going to do. So a little bit more about those ideas and offerings. We really started with the summer activity. And it was a Midsummer's Night's Menopause Eve because I was also an English language arts teacher for a long time. So anytime I can have some literary reference in there, I love it. So the idea number one, you can see on the left, Heidi and other LEA members attended Rhonda's amazing menopause session at a conference and wanted to bring it to the LEA. And I'd heard about that before, like, oh, she's amazing. We need to have her come. And we thought, well, let's choose. This was like probably in like April-ish, maybe even March, where they were bringing it up. I'm like, well, it's kind of late in the school year. Let's try something in the summer. And I will say this was our best attended event actually. And I thought, oh gosh, that was an interesting learning because I thought so often during the school year, we're busy. We need these things, don't get me wrong, but we're not always putting ourselves first in the summer as educators. So I thought this isn't a school thing. This isn't professional development. This is about us and our bodies. So this went really well. Oops, excuse me. And part of that too is we are basing it on the age of our membership. Right now we sort of have this in our membership. We have more veteran seasoned teachers, menopause age, or we have some of our friends who are maybe thinking about having babies. And I have something about that later too in our presentation that was offered. So we had about 45 to 50 ladies attend. We did invite some members from another association to join. Once we had a few spots, we had like 35 or 40 people signed up, which I think, again, is really good for the summertime when people are traveling and on vacation and whatnot. And so we did have a few people from the Wayne Westland Community Schools, their association, and maybe a few Plymouth Canton people. So the success of this event, and when we surveyed people, people said, "Oh my gosh, Amy, that was great, and Rhonda was wonderful. Oh my gosh!" And they really did want to do more. All right. So then fall, those of you who are educators know, like, even though you may have the best intentions, it's busy, right? It is a busy time of the year. And every time we were looking at the school calendar, we were like, oh gosh, well, this would be great, but it's parent-teacher conferences, or okay, my grades are due, report cards, right? And then there's holidays, there's Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas time, New Year's, all those different holidays that come up. So we came up with the idea of, well, let's get some wellness activities happening for winter then. We know start of the new year in January, everyone's like, okay, I'm getting healthy, right? And again, I love my alliteration as a former language arts teacher. So a winter of wellness was what we came up with. So Heidi and Amy, it says here, we did meet a few times in December. Rhonda and Andrew from MESSA also met with them and at Kelly Eddy, our LEA president as well. Ideas for the offerings. Then we got to work planning month by month. So again, thank you to Andrew and Rhonda who gave us like some ideas for like a framework. And this was our initial flyer that we sent out just to let people know that we were going to be having some things coming up. And then, so again, this is where once we met with Rhonda and Andrew, and she was telling us about some of her sessions that she often does. We had movement as a theme in January. We had mindfulness in February and nutrition in March. So that was kind of gave us a framework of how to have like a theme each month. And then, so here's January. January, we hit the ground running with little notes, and whether it was these LEA weekly wellness motivators I put on here. So it says like this was our week coming back to school after being off for the holiday winter break. And Motivation Monday says, while reconnecting with colleagues, we took a few walk and talks around the building. We motivated one another for movement this Monday. So just like little things like to give people ideas that they could even do at work. Again, school buildings are kind of big. So like just walking around the building during your prep time, when you first get to work, if you have time after work for sure, right? Like, oh, and I was trying to grab people from the classroom around the corner. And then, so we also had a women's wellness night. Again, thank you, Rhonda came. So it says, start the new year with your LEA sisters as Rhonda Jones, wellness consultant from MESSA, leads us through a variety of women's wellness topics from hormones, healthy habits, and so much more. So we just wanted to broaden it to women's wellness so it wouldn't just be about menopause, right? So, and one of the things that we learned from Rhonda, even at our menopause session in the summer, was, actually it's really good to start as many things as you can for your strength of your bones and body and all that before you're in menopause, right? And then I wrote, thank you, Andrew, on here on the left, because we had the join LEA colleagues and the MESSA rep online, and that was Andrew at 4:30 to learn all about our winter wellness activities and MESSA coverage resources. So that was and we asked Andrew, because again, so many people want to join like a gym or a membership. The beginning of the new year, a lot of those places are offering discounts. So that was one thing we wanted him to share, because your MESSA coverage does help. There are quite a few gyms and membership opportunities where you can get a discount. And then we had the last thing we did in January was a field trip. I guess you could say Heidi organized this. The Livonia Rec Center. On one hand, it's for Livonia residents. It's a beautiful facility. It's like a Lifetime Fitness, right? And they had actually just done a bunch of renovations and even updated and improved it. So they were doing but if you're a Livonia teacher but not a resident, you can get the resident rate. So if you wanted to just join the rec, so we wanted to make sure that our members knew that for one. And then the 100 Days of Health initiative that they have. So we did like a field trip there and they took us around, those of people who wanted to go. So we met at the rack at 4:30 after work hours. And yeah, and just learned about what the 100 Days of Health was going to be about. And that was great. So you could see we started strong. We tried for some variety. We had in person, we had things that we were really motivating people to do just at the building level since we have, so many people. We had Andrew for the different offerings, and we even tried to bring in something very local. And then we kept going with some more motivational things. Like I would just post something in Facebook, like here's a workout song, that I found online, like every day. And, people were kind of commenting, oh my gosh, I shake it off. I love it, or I just randomly posted something I motivated myself to do something I motivated myself to do for my wellness is. And then you can see Heidi had posted in February, what's a healthy mind body activity that you're going to do for yourself this week? And look, there's oats. Imagine that. Kristen was talking about oatmeal, right? So we tried to keep some of the just on people's brains, right? And I don't even know that Rhonda knew that we were doing some of these things. So before I continue, are there any questions or comments before I move on to February? Because that was mostly January, kind of moving into February. Or comments. Sometimes, Rhonda, if you wanted to make a comment or anything, otherwise I can kind of keep going.
I love it. I love it. I hope people
Okay.
are jotting down these ideas. You are going to make these slides available.
Oh
We want
yeah, I'll
you to
definitely
do
make the slides available. So I'll look forward
yes.
to Kristen's and you all can look forward to Kristen and mine.
Yes.
Right? So
Okay.
excellent. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much. So then in February, again, we had this idea of mindfulness. We did have Rhonda, again, every month there was a presentation by Rhonda about one of these topics. So, and because even though it was like mindfulness, sleep better, stress less, mindfulness for mental health. So here's our flyer. I had fun with Canva. If you have used Canva at all, and I was like, new to Canva, but that was part of my point. Like it was helping me learn more about making cool flyers. So it says, join us for this virtual learning with Rhonda Jones from MESSA on Tuesday, February 3rd at 4:30. And then that's what we did. So we were trying to balance some in-person and online. And one of the reasons we did more online in February-ish was because I was just worried about snow days. People were getting sick. There's things going around, right? And again, we're teachers, so Lord knows we're exposed to everything, no matter how much we try to stay healthy. So although I do wish we would have done something in person just to reflect on that because our in-person events were always well attended. So that's a good learning. But that was the reason why we kind of did more online. So we also had one of our LEA teacher. We offer yoga, basically. It's called Whole Self Fitness at all three high schools. And one of our yoga instructors at the high school is, full-fledged yoga instructor, has done, all kinds of additional training outside of school. And she was willing and interested in doing some yoga sessions for us. And we did choose to do those online for a reason well, a couple of reasons. We thought for people who've never done yoga before, if they feel, I know that a lot of people feel that they are self-conscious and they think that everyone else in the class is like, hard body, awesome yoga people, super flexible. And that's not how I am, like I at all, right? But I love yoga. So we thought that might alleviate some of the, I don't know if they feel like a little self-conscious, you just turn your camera off, right? And people did like it. We didn't have big groups. We had anywhere from just like 8 to 12 people probably joined us online. And again, maybe in person would have been good. I'm going to talk at the end here of like why sometimes the in person was hard to schedule. But we wrote, give yourself some love this month with 3 evening yoga classes sponsored by the LEA. Whether you're new to yoga or want to refine your poses, join us online for these winter wellness sessions. All right, so we had these going on, which is great. There'd always be reminders. We did have Google form like signups for that so we could always anticipate how many people would be at something. And also so we weren't just sending out the links broadly. And then we had nutrition, right? Yay. So Rhonda helped us with nutrition in March, very beginning of March, wellness and nutrition, and her amazing friend, colleague Vicky, who's the personal chef, came from Ann Arbor Vegan. I mean, that was such a hit, Rhonda. Everybody loved it. So it was really good. So we had other things we would have liked to have done in March, but really this was the only event we had, which was again quite a hit. People were, oh, hey, did you get this recipe? People were posting in our Facebook group. Um, but then we run up to like spring break. We had like spring break the last week of March in our school district. And then, so we kind of like did like March, April in the end. And we were sort of commenting on that. And then I wanted to put this here too, that even though it wasn't part of our wellness necessarily, this was about, we did have things in our April flyer. Okay. So, well, at the top it says, did you know benefits beyond insurance? So we did have Andrew present again for us online because people who couldn't come to the January online session had like, hey, are you going to run this again? I have, my son has soccer at that time. And Andrew said, sure, I'm happy to do it again. So we did have an April, like right, not long after we came back from spring break, another informational session about your MESSA coverage. And then the baby due date, the baby workshop, that's not necessarily the wellness part. But again, I said our membership is kind of like this in age. So he did, we've been doing that a few years now, I believe, in LPS, in LE, our LEA, offering that like to learn about like the different coverage and different resources for people who are going to go through that process. So what we learned through this process, success, wishes, and challenges, right? On the left, our in-person sessions were very well attended. So in-person is greater than virtual, right? And it often is. MESSA reps Rhonda, oh, I put Andrea. Oops, typo. Sorry, bad English teacher. I will edit that. Andrew were awesome because they are. If you've never had the opportunity to have Rhonda present to one of your groups, I highly recommend. And Andrew, or if you have a different MESSA rep to share the resources available if Andrew's not in your region. We would have loved in the middle to have done more in-person fitness activities. We actually had these ideas. We wanted to do walking Wednesdays. Our high schools all have indoor tracks, for example. They also have great like fitness centers because they use them for classes. But what we came into conflict with, and this is why we didn't have as many in-person things, which it says on the right, those are the challenges, the building space and availability, winter sports, January, February, March, they're using the indoor spaces. So the sports, the kids' high school sports, right? And I get that. So they were always like, yeah, you can use the space. I will say our school district was more than willing to have us use the space. That went well. I had met with our district operations assistant superintendent. We had a great conversation. So they were very open to us using the space because, of course, they want a healthy staff, right? But it was just trying to schedule things like, oh, the cheer team's going to be there. Oh, this group, every time we tried. And then the other part of that was that we have different end of day times. We're a K-12 group. So our K-4 schools end at 4 p.m. and our high schools end at 3 p.m. So, and Heidi and I are both high school hour people. So it just is hard to like, okay, well, what time? We often have to start things at 4:30 if we want the entire membership to participate. But then, it may not be an optimal time for everybody. The best communication strategy, even though I showed you all the ways we were communicating, I mean, maybe people use Instagram more than Facebook. You know what I mean? Like that's always the thing, right? And even though we're in the age of communication, it still seems like what's the best way? And we really needed more helpers, meaning it was just Heidi and I, and of course Rhonda and Andrew, but I just mean like it's to do more, we needed more. So our possible solutions. we have ideas for next year, like building or grade level captains to help organize our events. So it's not just Heidi and I. Or again, if we had some people from the elementary level and they wanted to plan something kind of for elementary staff at 4:30, but we plan something for like high school, middle school staff at 3:30, then we could not have to run into the time issue all the time. And also to help get the communications out. So it's not just coming from like, up here communications, but more of that grassroots building level. And the second bullet point is just plan ahead more so we can make sure dates and times do not conflict with other events. So we also had a lot of other LEA events. We do like a trivia night. So we were looking and we're like, well, we don't want to compete with that event. So that's something. And then I even, the last bullet was like we could promote with t-shirts or some other kind of swag, like get some spirit going. Rhonda and Andrew were so generous in MESSA with like food for our events when we had them in person and like giveaways, books and all these wonderful giveaways. But we were thinking like even again, if it was at the building, or more like challenges or something, maybe like a pickleball tournament or something, one day if we can get the space. So that's what I have. I'll pause now. I hope I wasn't too long. How am I doing on time?
You are perfect. You are perfect. I
Okay.
think
Does anyone have questions or comments or thinking like, could this work in something like this or some of these ideas in your context?
this is real life information. This is not textbook. This is what they actually did. And I like how you laid out the wins and the challenges, so we can think ahead. Those of us, those that are just thinking of what they can do. Communication is a challenging, or which way to communicate, because you have some people that are on Facebook, some people read their email, some read the break room board. I like how you brought that out. It's a great
Mhm.
variety, that mindful movement nutrition. Where'd you get that from? I'm just playing. But
I
and
know,
I
well,
love what you
but
did
and
too.
I want people to know that this was truly collaborative. Like Heidi and I would not have done everything we did without Rhonda and Andrew. I don't just mean they're presenting them as thought partners too, right? With like you guys helped give us like the framework, and then it was nice having a theme every
Yeah.
month. It really
Yeah,
was.
and that's all I do is I just give that framework, mindfulness, movement, nutrition, and most people like you, they jump off and they create because you know your environment and your people. So
Hmm.
it was perfect. Well, I had another thought about something you did. Oh, the nutrition was during Nutrition Month. So that was an
Oh,
easy one too. March is Nutrition Month.
yeah.
And also you mentioned the baby workshop. That is wellness.
Yeah.
Your wellness for every stage of life.
Hmm.
So you're supporting that population at your membership. You're providing them with resources and information. That's wellness. So I
Hmm.
love it. I love it.
And I will say that, so many of the teachers, so once people filled out the Google form, I would also like specifically reach out to them. Like people would get like the mass email. Then I would be like, hey, I know you all went to the menopause night. Here's our next event. And we had a lot of the people coming, so the people who came loved it and would come again, even with the different topics. So that's the other thing is like once you get people doing things, yeah, so again, we hope to do, like I said, planning ahead, thinking ahead, including for some of our like, and again, I was very happy that our school district said like we could use the building space. So I know that our yoga instructor would be more than happy to do that in person, and I'm like, okay, at first we kept thinking we needed to use the yoga rooms at the high schools, but I'm like, we could use the library because they're all carpeted. They're like nice. They actually redid all the libraries in Livonia. I'm like, maybe we don't need to. So just have to think a little bit like out of the box sometimes. Um, Thank you, everybody. Yeah, there we go. I teach English learners, so I have to do my multicultural connection, my multilingual connection for you. So yeah, that would be a fun thing to add to our nutrition is like more recipes or maybe even going out to like a restaurant that's known for healthy food or different food. Like there's an Ethiopian restaurant in Ann Arbor. Like that would be amazing. So that's what I
Love
have.
it. You helped us. You have contributed to these wellness thinkers. I'm sure you've stimulated ideas, or if they're not stimulated, we can just copy you because these are
Yes. Oh
great
my gosh, just
ideas.
sharing. That's what we do. So many of the
That's
people on here are educators. That's what we do.
that's what we do. recreate the wheel.
Don't
Thank you
reinvent the wheel. Exactly. I
so
think
much, Amy. I know you had to jump over hoops and put a lot of effort into meeting with us yesterday and today. So I really, really want you to know how much I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, it was nice. It's like it's a different topic. I've been hearing all about language, which is fun. I'm a language nerd, but also like, okay, this is fun, wellness, and thinking more about myself too than just yeah, just my
Yeah,
students.
you're perfect in your role. And I do have fun. I like when I get invited out. I have so much fun. So I had
Yes.
so much fun. Yours was the first menopause. And what did you title it? You titled it. I didn't
Well, the
couldn't even think.
summer one was a Midsummer's Night's.
A Midsummer's Night.
Yeah,
That was so
Menopause
fun.
Eve. And I think we
So,
had like a fancy drink. Again, they were great with bringing food. At our LEA office, I don't know that that's wellness all the time, but we can have alcohol if we want to. So we were like, someone was making like, it was summertime, so like a little punch or something, like not that anyone had to do that, but and I
and
felt like, oh, go ahead,
it was
sorry.
no, I was gonna say it was great because I didn't think that many people would come during the break, summer break, but we had a great turnout and it was so fun. So
Hmm.
think about doing things like that. You'll get your engagement. We talked about people being isolated. So it was a great community building event on a topic that was all relatable to all of us. So thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you. I wish I could stay for more. So you all have a great day. Take care.